Hello, this is Ivan Temesvari from Oakton Community College Computer Science. This is just a quick tutorial in getting Eclipse started. Once you start Eclipse from the Start menu, you'll have an option to select Eclipse Photon. Select that software, and once it boots up, you're going to see a screen that looks similar to this. From there, what you want to do is click on this X here. So close this guy, this welcome screen. This is the default layout for the IDE. Now, we have three options for you. You can code in Python, C++, or Java. So depending on which one you want to use, just pay close attention to my instructions. I'm going to start with C++. So to start up a C++ project so that you can start compiling and executing your code in this environment, we'll select File, New, Project. And we'll do the same thing for all three languages. So from here you can see I have C/C++. I want a C++ project. Double click it or click Next. At that point, you can give it a name. I'm going to call it Procom5 C++. I'm going to create a Hello World C++ project that gives me a source folder. It's just convenient. And then I'm going to select my compiler with min GW GCC. Click on Next, or actually just Finish. It's going to ask you to open up a perspective. If it doesn't prompt for that, then the C++ will be the default perspective. But if it does prompt, then select Open Perspective. And that would be the same for Java and Python. If it prompts for a perspective, select that perspective. Okay, so here I can see my project folder. And if I drop that guy down and then drop my source down, if I double click that, that would select that particular file. It's already open here in my editor. At this point, all I need to do is build and execute this code. Sorry, I got a generic main. I'm gonna click on the hammer here, which is build or compile. And then down here in my console, I will see that the executable has been created. This is also where you'll see errors, etc. So for example, if I had a semicolon missing, build it, save it, then build it, I'll see there's a potential error there. I could double click on that pinkish reddish line in the errors, and it will bring me to a line pretty close to where the error is. In this case, it's giving me the next line after where I'm missing my semicolon. And I can fix the error, save it, rebuild it, create a new executable that's going to work, and now I can run my executable. So I'm going to click on the green run here. And I want to make sure I select the local C++ application. And here you can see this is my terminal or my console where I'm going to be able to view my output. Now, something to keep in mind if you are working with an input file, to place the input file in the actual project folder, not inside the source folder. So let's say I was going to create a new input file. I will right click on my project, go to New, File, and this is going to be the same thing for Java and Python. Give it a name, input.txt maybe. And then notice that this input.txt is not inside the source folder. and that's where I want it to be. And that will be the local path for any file IO as well. And then that way you don't have to give the full path. You can just expect that file to be found if you're working with file IO. So that's the quick breakdown for C++. When you start up Eclipse, you're going to get that same welcome screen. Just exit out, and then we go to File, and we're going to start up with the Java. New, select Project. Here I can see all my options, and I want Java. Select double-click Java project, or click Next. Give it a name. So here I'm going to call it Procom 5 Java. Whatever name you want to give it, and just finish. Prompting for open perspective, that's what I want. And here is my Java project. Now here's the source folder for my Java project. I'm going to want to create a new class. So right click on the source folder, new class. Give it a name, Procom 5, finish. And it's automatically going to open up that file in your editor. From here, just a quick program to demo. Save your file. Here, this is save all or save. Make sure you always save the file before you start to run it. In this case, for Java, I don't have to build separately with the hammer and then run. I can actually just go run, and it's going to do all that at once. Slightly different from the C++, where we have to click on the hammer first. And there you can see there's my output. So this is where you're going to be able to see your output to the terminal or console for your Java programs as well. Again, if you're working with file IO, just make sure that the input file is going to be inside the actual Java project folder. And you can see there it's not in the source folder. It's here in the actual project folder. Then that will be your local path. You don't have to specify the full path to your input file. Okay, so far so good. Moving on to Python. Click on File, New. At this point, we're going to select Project. And now we want to go to our PyDev, which is going to allow us to use Python in Eclipse. New PyDev project, click Next. Okay, paying close attention to the details of setting up these projects. Each one is slightly different. So here, I want Procom 5, Python, select my version 3.6, configure an interpreter, make sure you click this. Then you're going to select Quick Auto Config. That's important to select Quick Auto Config. That's going to set up your link to the Python libraries. That may take a little while, and it'll let us know when it's done. We also want to make sure that we select the Create Source folder right there. Okay, we want that. Finish. Here it prompts for opening perspective. That's good. Let's do that. We're going to open the Python perspective. Each perspective is useful because it highlights code in a certain way that we like it to. At this point, drop down my Python project. Here in my source, I'm going to right click, new. At this point, I'm going to set up a new module or a new Python file. I can specify the package. I'm going to call it Procom. And the name of the program, let's call it Procom 5. In this case, it's called a module. Finish. Here I can see, okay, this window's going to pop up. Just click OK. Everything is fine. Everything that's selected there is fine. Click OK. Right. Once that finishes up, we're going to select either an empty file, or if you want to select a class file or a main file. And then here you have your Procom 5 Python file, procom5.py. Let's just test it out, save it, and then here in this case you just have to select the run. Now when you select the run, make sure you select Python run. And again, this is where my terminal output is. I can see my terminal output is working fine. Alright, so as far as I/O goes, or file I/O goes for the Python programs, just make sure that you place your input file into the actual package, which is found under the source folder. So right click on the package, select new file, input.txt, finish, and then that way it will be local inside the path to the actual code. So when you do open it, you can just specify the file name instead of the full path. Okay, so those are the three languages and how to set up each of those projects in Eclipse. You might want to review these videos a few times before you come to the competition, just so you know how to get started and make things a little bit easier on yourselves when Eclipse first starts up. Good luck to all of you, and I hope you enjoy the competition. Thank you for visiting Oakton Community College.